Perhaps you've seen the headlines. Public trust in government near historic lows. This is according to the Pew Research Center. Over the years, they've been keeping track, dating back to 1958. It peaked in October 1964, by the way, at 77% and has seen a steady decline since. A little bit of a bump right after 9/11, but that downward trend picked right back up. And of course, the pandemic didn't do too much to stop it. The current lowest point would be August of 2011. And the current confidence level right now is around 20%. Pew Research survey shows about 20% of Americans think the government does the right thing always or most of the time. Only 20%, so a lot do not. In the middle of this mistrust, Idaho State Controller is hoping to change that by being more transparent on such things like taxes. Here's Joe Paris.
If you want to play elected official word association, Idaho State Controller Brandon Wolf would likely select the word transparency.
You know, it's my passion, and it's been from day one, and it continues this day, and I hope that passion comes through.
Wolf has served as state controller since 2012. His role is basically managing Idaho's financial affairs. A major project Wolf has worked on for a decade, showing the people of Idaho where their tax dollars go in the government and what the financial status of it all is.
The biggest part to me is building trust. And we've seen the trust in government has gone down at an all-time low. Everywhere we look, everywhere we see, social media, anywhere we look at it, people are like, I don't know if I trust the feds, the state, our local government. And so that's my biggest opportunity, is how can we build that trust back up?
Enter Transparent Idaho, a webpage and website that Wolf and his team have taken great pride in developing in recent years. Here you can see details of government spending and finances at the state level, and it breaks down across all the agencies. But now, Transparent has a new feature, one Idahoans has asked for: local government breakdowns.
My vision was always, how do we get local governments involved as well? There's 44 counties, 199 cities, 186 school districts and charter schools, 800 plus taxing districts. And so you sit there and think about how many times you're going to have to click to go to every one of those. But my vision is there one way we could put all of that information on one site, on Transparent Idaho.
Wolf says through great partnerships with Idaho's county clerks, Transparent Idaho can now show you detailed financial and spending info for every individual county. There you can also compare and contrast, creating a point for local policy discussions. It can be complicated data to go through on its own, but Wolf and his team work to change that.
I joke, though my grandma's passed away, I always say I want to make this as easy that my grandma can use this, and make it accessible. And make it so that whether you have some understanding in a particular area that's of interest to you, whether it's transportation or fish and game or local government, I want to make it easy that any citizen can be able to dive in and look for it, and maybe even get carried away on a rabbit hole and go down here and spend days and hours like I do.
The idea here is transparency across the board, a helpful tool for having major debates and discussions on all levels.
And we want more citizen engagement. That was a big driver of all this as well. So not only can I compare my neighboring counties, but I can compare to say, how do we fit? And what can we learn from these best practices? Maybe this county sheriff, how much are they spending? And how's that compared to our county? And we can call them up and say, hey, what are you doing? It looks like you're doing a great job. How can we implement those best practices?
And Wolf says the work doesn't stop here. Soon, more hyperlocal data and tools will be added.
The big part is we're just going to add more and more and more, and being able to put those metrics to say, how much are we spending on roads and bridges per mile compared to this area and that? And as we add more and more, I think that'll just build the trust. You know, we want to deter any fraud. We want to change the culture of what this data means. And, Justice Brandeis back in 1914 said, sunshine is the best disinfectant. If we open up the books, we shine the lights, hopefully that in the long, big scheme, we mix all this all up together, is to build that trust back up in government.
And the Controller's Office says that the data goes even further as reporting statewide education and school district spending. And while the information's always been available through public records requests, you could get a digital copy, this now gives every citizen a very in-depth look at how their tax dollars are being spent and what's being accomplished with that spending. And it's actually interesting, Brian, in 2021, they created a uniform approach to city, county, and districts in the Idaho legislature. So this is in law that they're starting to work on stuff like this. And it's not not just tax information on that Transparent Idaho website. One thing that they also worked on during COVID, for example, is town hall meetings. There's been questions about, well, where are all the town hall meetings posted across Idaho? Everything's on that Transparent Idaho page, and we have it linked on our website, ktvb.com. I was just playing on the data page. It's interesting. You get to see where it all goes.
And as you said, you could have requested that, and it was timely. It would cost some money and some time. It wouldn't come right at you. But to have it just readily available, that's pretty significant.
And when they fill those public records requests, usually it's spreadsheets of thousands and thousands of rows of data, and specialists work to give the results that are requested, and that takes a lot of time. This, I can go log on right now and go take a look.
Digestible. All right, thank you very much, Joe.